Now let's look at variables. Variables are names that we use to store values. We can also say that variables are names associated with a value. For instance, we can have this name, number, and we associate it with a value using a equality symbol, and we can provide a value like 20. So this is what we call variable declaration. We have a name, we have equality symbol, and we'll have a value. In some programming languages, when you want to declare variables, you normally use things like semicolons. But in Python, we don't use semicolons. All you have to do is to provide a name, provide an equality symbol, and then provide a value. That is all. So with this declaration, what it means is that if I want to make use of the value 20, I can simply use the name or the variable name. For instance, I can have print number. Because number is associated with 20, when I say print number, it is going to fetch the value associated with that name, which is 20. And if we run this program, it is going to show 20. It is going to show 20. I can have age, which could be somebody's age, and associate it with a value, let's say 25. So this is the variable name and this is the value. If we want to refer to the value, we can always do so using the name. So we have print age, and this is going to give us 25. Now, another good way of using variables is, let's say we have some values that we want to add up. So I can call this one num1 is equal to 10, and I have num2 is equal to 20. If I want to add up 10 and 20, I can make use of the names. I can have the third variable, which is result, and I have it as result is equal to num1 plus num2. So this way, num1 refers to 10 and num2 refers to 20. And this is an addition symbol, this plus sign. So this is going to add up 10 and 20 and store it in a variable named result. So I can go ahead and have print result, and this is going to give us 30. And the beauty of this is that if I want to change the values associated with the names, I can simply go to this declaration. So instead of having 10 here, I can change it to 15. And what this means is that result is now equal to 15 plus 20. And as you can see, we have 35. Now let's look at some of the rules to observe when providing variable names. The first one is that variable names are case sensitive. So have case sensitive. What this means is that num1, like this, let's say num1 is equal to 10, is different from num1. Let's have this one as 20. So num1 is different from this other one because this one has an uppercase here while this other one has a lowercase. So two of them are two different names. So variable names are case sensitive. Another rule to keep in mind is that variable names start with a letter or an underscore. We have letter or underscore. What this means is that a name like num, let me assign it to 10, is a valid name because the first character there is an alphabet, is a letter. Now take a look at this example. I have number of items is equal to 5. This is a valid name, and the reason for this is because the first character there is a letter. Then I can as well start this variable name with an underscore like this. This is also a valid name. But I cannot start it with a number. If I have 3 here, you can see this is underlined with red, which means that there's a syntax error here. So this is not a valid variable name. You start a valid variable name with a letter or underscore. A valid name can include numbers, but it shouldn't be at the beginning. For instance, we can have num1 is equal to 4. This is a valid name. The number came after the letter. You cannot start it with a number, but you can include the number anywhere. I can as well include something like 3 here. So this is a valid name. As long as number is not the first character, it is a valid name. So this is a valid name. Also, you cannot use what we call keywords or reserved words as your variable names. There are certain names that are reserved in Python. We call them reserved words or keywords. Things like pass, if, continue, break. These are keywords or reserved words. You cannot use them as your variable names. You cannot include spaces in your variable names. Let's say we have a compound name like date of birth. Let me just assign it to a number. Let's say 30. You cannot include spaces in your name. If I put a space here, you can see that we have a red underline here showing syntax error. So you don't include spaces in your variable names. Rather, if you want to insinuate spaces, you can use underscores. For instance, I can put an underscore here and also put an underscore here, but you cannot use a space as part of your variable names. Then finally, it's important that when you want to give names to your variables, you use descriptive names. So this is a recommendation that I have for you. We can say A is equal to 10. This is a valid name, but A is not descriptive. You don't know what A represents. So instead of using a single letter name, you make it descriptive. I can have age like this. If somebody sees age, the person will know that you are referring to somebody's age. Now let's look at other descriptive names. So instead of having something like D as date of birth, you can have DOB. If somebody sees DOB, the person knows that you're talking about date of birth. It's easy for the person to understand what the variable represents. As a good practice, I encourage you to avoid using single letter names as your variable names. Make it as descriptive as possible. In the next lesson, we're going to be learning about the data types.